Hey everybody, it's Jono again, and in my last video I was showing you guys how to make a little hybrid rocket. Today I'm gonna show you how I built this huge 1-inch bore airgun. So this thing's pretty big, and of course in the future, I mean, this thing is not complete at all. I still need a solenoid valve to go right here so that I can open and close this quickly, and I'll explain that, how that's going to work later. And then I'm also going to have a battery pack. Where's my battery pack? Yeah, well anyway, I'm going to make a battery pack out of those like small little batteries, or are some, let me see. Yeah, these little batteries, right? 8 of them should be able to produce the 12 volts that I need to operate a solenoid valve. I'll have a little trigger button right here, and those will all be kept in this little thing, this little cylinder, PVC cylinder. And yeah, so let's break it down. So here we have the, like, I guess the breech or whatnot. So as you can see, this is the where the ammunition is going to be fed in. I plan to use some plexiglass spheres or like marble type things, but of course they're going to be plastic because I don't really kill people with it. But yeah, so here we have, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically, where do I have them? Oh yeah, so this thing right here is like these garden hose connector things. I don't really, I mean, I saw a bit of potential for them and used the water rockets, so I bought them a little while back. They were like $3, right, for 2 of these, right? So with my Dremel, I kind of completely sanded down this end so that it could fit in one of one of these things, right, basically. And so this could fit in there, and then when the air, then I drilled holes on these little sides right here, and that was cemented into PVC pipe that is here. And yeah, and so then that had holes so the air would flow there, through there, and then it would push this, because there is a seal between our bolt, which is basically this type piece, and some 12mm PVC, and they're like fitted together. And this is the like outside type thing. Of course, this is just a random connection piece I made, but as you can see, this makes a pretty good fit in here. And so I had a couple of O-rings laying around. I don't know, they're used now, but yeah, that basically made the bolt, and I will show you how that works in a second. Just get this should work. So just get one of these little I forget what they're called, axles or whatnot. So you can see one of the holes in here. We're just gonna drive that through one of these holes, and then when that's through, as you can see, you can watch the breech work. See, that's gonna be pushing balls because the air is gonna be pushing through there. Yeah, it's kind of a bit hard to explain. If you don't get it, just, you know, ask in the comments about what you want to know about it. So then our stock is very simple. Basically, I drilled in here, but I didn't have that big of a drill bit, right? So I also used a handy dandy hammer, and I think I used like a screwdriver of some sort. And so basically, it makes sort of a gosh, I gotta scratch something. So basically, when that hammered in, it made it like it kind of ridge along this part here. And so that really, when the air pressure inside of here, right, it's kind of hard to explain, that pushes out and pushes against the Schrader valve, and so that keeps it in place because this expands and then compresses against the Schrader valve. So it's a pretty airtight fit, and even though it's just friction, I didn't epoxy it in or anything. Then of course, when this is complete and I finally do get the Schrader valve shipped in, solenoid, and yeah, so we just have this coupling here. So this is going to function as our stock and our air tank. And some of you may be asking, why didn't you get a Schrader valve attached to a bike tire like this and have it kind of inside of here? Well, the reason for that is, really, I didn't want to mess this thing up, because this thing costed $8. Now that may not sound much, but it really adds up with all these connection bits and stuff. Whereas this was only $2. So if I messed up the drilling in here it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, of course, if I did do it in here, another reason why I didn't want to do that is when I would be like holding the gun, right? Of course, this is stock, right? So this is braced against here. Well, if I drop the gun, Schrader valve gets pushed in, and that could, you know, potentially, I mean, break the connection with the Schrader valve, right? And that could just come out. So that would kind of suck. And then my Schrader valve would be heavily dented, so it probably couldn't be used anymore. So yeah, also I kind of like the idea that way I can pump it up with this pump, which goes up to like 200 psi, I think. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so this is kind of a weird fitting if you're from America and you're watching this video, and basically that fits in there. There's a little ant. So yeah, that fits in there, and then of course we can pump that up. So I plan to have this tank going up to 200 psi, which it should easily handle, and yeah, so let's do a bit more explaining. So this is going to be our magazine, and so that's going to fit in right there. And for the spring for that, I plan to use a Nerf Rival. If you may be familiar with the Nerf Rival line, basically they have they shoot little balls, but they're not near as big as this. Of course, not near as dangerous as this thing will be. But I should be able to repurpose the spring from that, and then I have a light spring for the magazine, so that should be able to overcome gravity and you know, push them into the breech. So then this is our barrel. Of course, this is just a simple you know, 25 millimeter or 1 inch bore, you know, PVC. You can see 25, or I guess you can't see, but yeah, this will go in here. This will go in here, and our solenoid valve will go here, and